The great trainer Blade Drummer looks for his next Pokemon.
Yes! Pokemon! I don't know what kind of Pokemon that is, but I guess I gotta catch them all to be the Pokemon Master. It's time to release my strongest Pokemon to weaken it first. Go! Andros! You've got to be kidding me with this. Do that move that you know how to do sometimes! And what's that then? What am I supposed to do? Master Trainer? You come up with something, you idiot. Use Headbutt or something like that. Okay, fine, whatever then. Yeah, that's it. Nice one, Andros. Now it's time to capture him. Let's go. Yeah, I got him. All right. Yeah. You still missed. Shut up. Ah.
Hey everyone, hope you're keeping safe. I am Blade Drummer and welcome to my channel. You know what it is, it's a game review, so here we go guys, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pokemon. I remember the days when Red and Blue version came out and took the world by storm, selling over 31 million copies worldwide. Not to mention the cards that everyone went crazy for, and every lunchtime at school there were groups everywhere trying to improve their decks and getting the really rare cards. There was always one person who had this massive stack that was held together by a very questionable elastic band. It was always Charizard everyone craved for, and for some reason if a card was in Japanese that apparently made it rarer, but after some research I found out that it's not rarer, it's just made in a better quality. I myself was hooked on both games and cards, and was constantly on my Game Boy trying to be the Pokemon Master, and as the slogan says, or the Japanese equivalent is Get Pokemon. Doesn't really sound as good, does it? These two games have changed the world of gaming. As more Pokemon games were released, the games continued to improve while still rooted to the core structure of Red and Blue and made great strides in making life easier for players. Sometimes maybe a bit too easy, but I'll get to that soon. After adding in over 100 Pokemon each time, it was more of an effort to complete your Pokedex. Fast forward to the Pokemon Sword and Shield games, and there's about 890 Pokemon altogether, which is crazy, with more being added with the DLC. Downloadable content if you're not too sure what that means. There were big issues with Sword and Shield, as it came to light that you couldn't obtain all 890 Pokemon in the game, and fans kicked off about it as it was the first mainline game to do something like this. For me, I wasn't too fussed, as I was never going to fill it in general. I just wanted to enjoy the game and fight battles with my favourite Pokemon, such as Gengar, Nidoking. What? He's not in it? Okay. Dragonite? No, not either. Okay, great. Charizard? Yay! That's two. Marowak? No, not even him. And also, wait, what's this? Why are you showing me an apple? I'm not hungry. Oh wait, that's a Pokemon? Okay. I bet it's got a real original name though. Nope, it's called Applin. You have got to be kidding me. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield. What are the differences in these games from the other games? Well, let's find out. First off, you've got Dynamax and Gigantamax, which are two new mechanics introduced in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Dynamaxing allows every Pokemon in the game to turn enormous. This also gives them powerful max moves. Certain Pokemon can Gigantamax. This not only lets them grow like Dynamaxing does, but their appearance changes also. Each Gigantamax Pokemon can also have its own unique G-Max move. Keeping up yet? Next up, you've got Max Raid Battles. Max Raid Battles are a new mechanic in Pokemon Sword and Shield. In the wild area, trainers can approach beacons from Pokemon dens and take on Dynamax Pokemon or Gigantamax Pokemon for a chance to capture them. These battles can be done alone or with up to 3 other players online. If you don't have anyone online to play with, the game will generate 3 computer players to play alongside you. The wild area is another new part of Pokemon Sword and Shield. It is an expansive land that covers much of the Galar region. Pokemon in this area can be seen roaming freely. You can approach any Pokemon you want to go and battle them and attempt to capture them. The weather in this area changes as well, which makes certain Pokemon more likely to appear. Max Raid Battle locations are dotted throughout the wild area. Players can also set up Pokemon camps here. What are Pokemon camps, you ask? Well, I'll tell you right now. Pokemon Camp can be set almost anywhere outside a city or town. Setting a camp allows your party Pokemon to relax and play. While camping, you can interact directly with your Pokemon by using toys to play with them. Another new mechanic in Pokemon Sword and Shield involves cooking curries. Throughout your adventure, you'll collect a variety of ingredients that you can use to cook different curry recipes. You and your Pokemon can eat the curries that you cook. Some recipes can even have stat boosting effects. When this was first announced, it was panned by quite a lot of fans and seen as a bit of a joke. Me personally, I don't really care much for it, and I used it a couple of times, but there was no way I was going to keep using it to make all the different curries. Another new feature is Pokejobs, which basically allows you to send off your Pokemon to do some work. Some Pokemon are better at jobs than others, and when you get the Pokemon back, they'll have gained experience, and this is a great way to level up your Pokemon more before you face those tougher battles. There are lots more mechanics and features to discover in Pokemon Sword and Shield. In addition to the new Pokemon, quite a few new ones, including Applin.
Why are you the way that you are?
There are new abilities, moves, and also items introduced in the game. Now this game looks really good, especially in certain areas, and it's the Pokemon world that I dreamed about when I played the original games on my Game Boy. Each town or city appears to have its own permanent weather condition, which I think makes it quite unique. The architecture looks really nice, and there's one particular town where it's shrouded in darkness and it's only lit up by these glowing mushrooms and different lights that they put around the town and on the houses, and it looks so lovely and relaxing. You can really see the added detail that they've put into every part of this game, and it just looks brilliant. Now, as I said before about these two games making life a bit too easy for players, I meant it. I don't feel like the other Pokemon games were hard, but at least they offered me more of a challenge. And straight off the bat when you start the game, it shows you how easy it's going to be. Do you remember the days of Pokemon Red and Blue when you had that really difficult decision of which starter Pokemon to pick? And then whichever one you picked, your rival would then pick the Pokemon that was strong against you element-wise. And you could also rename your rival to the name of the person that you hated the most at that given moment. Yeah, those were the days. Not now, things have changed. Your rival's brother is the Pokemon champion of the Galar region, and he just kind of gives you the choice of the 3 Pokemon of whichever one you want. But here's the bit that really got to me. When you pick which Pokemon you want, your rival picks the Pokemon that is weak to your Pokemon. That's not meant to happen. He's meant to pick the Pokemon that's strong against yours, so therefore it's a bit more of a challenge whenever you come up against him. And from that point, I knew things were going to be easy and I was going to have my hand held while I played this game. And there's other bits that prove that too. So generally in the older games, when you go through a cave, you need to either have some kind of flashlight to see where you're going. It's a bit of a maze. You have an escape rope just in case you get lost or stuck. You're consistently coming up against Zubats or any other kind of Pokemon. There's so many different Pokemon that appear in the caves. Whereas in Sword and Shield, the caves were well lit and easy to navigate. It didn't take very long to get through, and at no point did I feel like I could get lost or I was in trouble. When you come out of the cave, you get healed, and I was a bit confused as to what justified that healing as the cave was so easy to get through. And speaking of healing, I found myself getting healed quite a lot throughout the game, which took away the trainer aspect for me, where you have to stock up on potions and full heals etc. while you go on this adventure, because you never know what's going to happen. Whereas in this game, I kind of was always feeling safe because I knew there was going to be someone around the corner to just heal me again. And if you're wondering what is the actual difference between Pokemon Sword and Shield, well, in addition to offering different Pokemon to catch, like the other Pokemon do as standard, Pokemon Sword and Shield also feature their own distinct gym leaders. Now I know there's been a lot of nostalgia in this review, but there would be. Pokemon Red and Blue were a huge part of my childhood, and I loved every second of it. And no, I don't think all the first 151 Pokemon were perfect. Some of them have definitely lacked some kind of imagination. However, I feel as the games have progressed, especially the last few entries, they are definitely running out of ideas for Pokemon. And you will never convince me that any of the first 151 Pokemon are worse than an apple called Applin, or a bag of rubbish called Trubbish. So, to sum up, I actually had quite a lot of fun playing this game, even though it definitely does have its flaws. The game looks great and the fighting is really cool, especially the Dynamaxing, which really grew on me. The Wildlands were fun to explore and take part in the max raids. Even though the story formula has been quite similar throughout the Pokemon games, I found this one to be one of the weakest ones and I just could not get on board with it. The game carries you on its shoulders and it's just way too easy. I love that this game is on the Switch, and I'm looking forward to the next installment. All they need to do is change a couple of things, make it more challenging, and they are well on their way to making a really good Pokemon game. I'm going to give this game a 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, go and smash that like button, it's the best way to help me. If you want to see more of my reviews, go hit that subscribe button because there are plenty more coming your way. Next week we've got the second episode of The Good, The Bad and The Darkly, and I bet you can't wait to see my awful dart skills again, and if the film that you gave me gets picked. I can't wait to see what kind of garbage I have to review. So, I'm really looking forward to that. But for now guys, take care of yourselves, and that is me out.